The teacher librarian as leader. We were introduced to the concept of the teacher librarian as leader in the subject ETL 504, Teacher Librarian as Leader. I had not considered myself as a leader in my career and really saw this as a role for the executive members of staff. ETL 504 changed my perspective on this as it introduced the concept of leading from the middle. This is where anyone can apply leadership strategies and theories to lead from the middle and motivate others to work towards a common goal or value of the school. This PowerPoint will look at these leadership theories and strategies and how I perceive they can be applied to the role of teacher librarian. The teacher librarian as leader in school. Leadership can impact the role of teacher librarian in four main ways. These include in the characteristics of the leader, in the leadership theories and styles that the teacher librarian can employ, how the teacher librarian can use knowledge of the followers to help motivate people to work towards a common goal or value of the school, and finally, how the teacher librarian uses their knowledge of leadership to meet the needs of the school community. Firstly, the characteristics of the leader. The characteristics of the leader can generally be said to be self-confident, self-aware, intelligent, and also to have integrity. While the characteristics of the leader may vary from person to person, these are four characteristics which have generally been positively correlated with leaders, and this has been defined in the theory known as trait theory. As well as displaying the characteristics of the leader, the teacher librarian needs to display the skills of a leader. These skills can be said to be technical knowledge, interpersonal skills, and also conceptual knowledge. The next 3 slides will look at how these 3 categories of leadership skills can be applied to the teacher librarian role. Firstly, technical skills. This refers to the knowledge required to conduct a specialised procedure and is particularly relevant to the resource management facet of the teacher librarian role. It can include acquiring appropriate resources, cataloguing, deselection or weeding, and system management. The second category of leadership skills is interpersonal skills, which refers to the ability to understand the thoughts, feelings, and attitudes of others to build positive relationships. These are important so that the teacher librarian can identify the needs of students, collaborate with colleagues to team teach information literacy, communicate libraries' policies and practices with the school community, this includes parents, and communicate how the library is meeting the school needs. The final category of leadership skills is conceptual skills, and this refers to the ability to analyse a situation and creatively problem solve to gain the best result from a given situation. Applying such skills as a teacher librarian allows us to identify current and future needs of the school community, consider a range of ways that we can meet these needs, evaluate the most effective way of meeting these needs, and then analyse whether the way that we have changed our practice has actually been effective to meet the school's needs. It can be seen that by employing the characteristics and skills of a leader, the teacher librarian can more effectively identify and meet the needs of their school. ETL 504 also introduced me to a number of leadership theories and styles. These include trait theory, as previously discussed, transactional leadership, servant leadership, transformational leadership, and finally, situational leadership. I had the greatest response to situational leadership because it changes the way the leader responds to the followers depending on their needs, skills, and attitudes. To be an effective leader, the teacher librarian must have knowledge of the people that they are trying to motivate. This includes their responses to a change or proposed idea, attitudes, and also the skills that they possess. Having this understanding will allow the teacher librarian to effectively collaborate with others. This is important because a collaborative approach may help to overcome attitudes which undervalue the skills and knowledge of the teacher librarian, or the misconception about what the teacher librarian role actually involves. Collaboration has also shown to empower followers, and this in turn can lead to a decrease in employee turnover within an organisation. The final aspect which can be considered when looking at the teacher librarian as a leader is how they can use the leadership strategies to identify and meet the needs of the school community. This includes the current needs, but also the future needs of the school. These can be shaped by internal influences within the school community, but they are also shaped by the broader educational context, such as changes in government or departmental policy. This has been seen with the introduction of the new Australian curriculum. Once these needs have been identified, the teacher librarian can meet these needs by using their specialised knowledge, such as in resourcing the curriculum, through the integration of technology throughout the curriculum, and by teaching information literacy skills to students. The needs of the school may also be communicated to the teacher librarian by the principal and executive team, and these will be in line with the vision that the executive team have for the future direction of the school. The teacher librarian can also identify needs themselves through analysis of the school community situation. This then leads to problem solving to discuss a number of different options that may be employed, and then decision making to choose the strategy which will be seen to be the most effective to meet the school's needs. Decision making can then generally lead to a change in the school's practices or policies, and this should be in line with the vision for the school's future. However, this change can also lead to fear in followers. This may result because the teachers believe that this change is unnecessary or that the change may make their role more difficult. This is why it is so important that a teacher librarian can engage in effective change management strategies. Effective change management will respond to the needs of followers and decrease fear to implement the change effectively. This can only be done with collaboration from others. Once the change management has been put in place, there should be an evaluation as to whether this really was effective. If it has been, then work should be made towards standardising the change so that the practices become ingrained into the culture of the school. This concept map demonstrates the complex and inherent nature of leadership within the role of teacher librarian in schools. Within the role of teacher librarian, there are a number of opportunities to lead. One example is leading a whole school approach to developing an information literate school. Information literacy programs have been shown to be most effective when they occur across the curriculum and are conducted in a team teaching approach by both teacher and librarian. Another opportunity to lead is in identifying and meeting school needs through appropriately resourcing the curriculum. And as mentioned before, a particular opportunity to lead exists with the implementation of the new Australian curriculum. Thirdly, developing school policies and procedures, and not just those that are related to the library. For example, developing a digital citizenship policy is something where a teacher librarian could take a leading role. And finally, teacher librarians can use their specialised knowledge to help implement ICT practices across the curriculum. However, teacher librarians may experience some barriers in implementing leadership strategies. Firstly, most school organisational structures do not recognise the teacher librarian in a leadership position. Teacher librarians may be seen as isolated from other key groups within the school, such as stage areas or key learning area groups. The school community may not understand the role of teacher librarian, and this can lead to an undervaluing of their skills and knowledge. And finally, stereotypes of the librarian means that they are not necessarily perceived as leaders. The teacher librarian can overcome these barriers by demonstrating the traits associated with leaders. These included self-confidence, self-awareness, intelligence, and integrity. They also need to engage in continual collaboration with all members of the school community by promoting their role and achievements of the library within the school community. I have applied my knowledge of leadership strategies and styles learnt through ETL 504 by leading the implementation of iPads in our school community across all KLAs within the classroom. I have also begun to collaborate with the wider school community to develop a library policy which identifies the aims of the library and how we can meet identified needs within the school. Currently, there has been no library policies developed, so this will be a big step forward for our library in our school. In future, I would like to continue to apply my knowledge of leadership skills and strategies by collaborating to include the library as a tool to achieving the school goals in the next school plan. The library is currently not mentioned in the school plan, and I believe that this is a big gap where the library can fill to help meet literacy targets in our school plan. I would also like to develop indicators and assessments to measure the progress of the library in meeting these goals. Finally, I would like to collaborate with the Literacy Committee to increase our library's roles in meeting our NAPLAN literacy targets for our school. Leadership is inherent in the role of teacher librarian, and the study of ETL 504 gave me practical ways of implementing this knowledge to help my leadership skills in the school community.